have to be organized to fight for your liberation.
GW Apparel, a clothing that speaks. Something for the kings, something for the queens. Visit uptsites.com and use promo code SLDG22 and receive 11% off your order. Peace.
It's the Ticket Plug. We've been running an online ticket business for over a decade, and now we've created an easy way for you to do the same thing through our private ticket resale community. Joining our community will give you a way to flip your bread and generate profit income consistently. We provide you with all the tools, training, and resources needed to start your life-changing online ticket business. Zero experience needed. To join our ticket resale community, go to thetickettrap.com. Again, go to thetickettrap.com. That's thetickettrap.com.
The Master's Table by DJ RP Beats and Sincere Love to God, now playing on the internet's #1 destination for true hip-hop. Introducing TruthHipHop.com, a meticulously curated platform designed for connoisseurs seeking a superior quality of hip-hop. Immerse yourself in an unparalleled experience of 100% bar-heavy, authentically crafted, real hip-hop. Discover the essence of the genre, reminiscent of its golden era, now playing exclusively at TruthHipHop.com.
Yeah, like that. Let's see what's in the God's mind. Listen.
I'm Allah in the person of Sincere Love to God. That mean they arms too short like Charles Anthony Shaw. What's going on, family? Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to the family. I'm trying to get this thing to cast over to my TV over here, but for some reason it ain't trying to do that today. I was having some issues earlier with the internet, so I had to move it the live back a couple of minutes. I was cleaning up around the house, moving stuff around, and I unplugged the internet modem and all of that stuff, and now everything is acting funny. And I don't know, I can't get this thing to do what it's supposed to do for some reason. So hold on a second, y'all. But what's going on with y'all, man? As y'all coming in here, y'all know what to do with the joint. Hit the like button, all of that good stuff. What's going on, Nicey girl? Y'all say what's up to my lovely co-host. Yeah, I forgot to tell y'all, welcome to another episode of Sincere Love the Godcast. I am the God Sincere Love, and shout out to my lovely co-host in the chat. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button, share this out on your social media platforms. Let everybody know that we live right now. I know everybody kicking it with the family and stuff like that. It's the holiday and all of that good stuff. Some people celebrate, some people don't, but everybody do what they do. I'm here live with y'all. Getting ready to chop it up. And my brother DJ RP Beats should be joining me momentarily. Me and my DJ RP Beats decided to do a little impromptu broadcast today just to chop it up about some of the OGs of hip-hop that dropped albums in 2024. A lot of OGs put out new music this year. And so me and RP decided to go live with y'all today to talk about that, the good, the bad, the ugly. What was our thoughts? What was our takes on some of the music that we got from the OGs this year? And probably next week, right around New Year's, probably do another broadcast where I talk about just my favorite drops from 2024 period. But today we're going to be talking about the OGs and the music that was put out by a lot of the rap legends and a lot of the rap veterans in 2024. So RP should be joining me shortly and we can get into all of that. But like I said, y'all make sure y'all hit the like button, share this out on your social media platforms. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you can be reminded whenever we go live with new episodes of Sincere Love the Godcast. Me and Nicey Girl, we do this usually on Sundays around 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. Pacific Time. We have our weekly broadcast where we cover current events and other important topics that are pertinent to what's going on in Black society. And top of 2025, we're going to be kicking off a new season of the Black Business Showcase. That is our weekly series where we bring on business owners and entrepreneurs, and we interview them, get all up in their black business, and talk about, you know, all of the different industries and let people know what black businesses are out there that we need to be rocking with and supporting. You know what I'm saying? So if that's you, by the way, if you happen to be a black business owner / entrepreneur, you want to get your stuff featured on our channel, send us an email, godcastenterprises@gmail.com. Let us know what you got going on so that we can get you on the schedule for the Black Business Showcase. And so, like I said, happy holidays to everybody. Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy Kwanzaa, whatever it is that you do, whatever it is that you celebrate. Hope everybody is chilling, safe with the family and all of that. RP looked like he trying to get on. I don't know, something going on with his connection or what. He looked like he trying to get on over here. But let me see. It says you got to connect your mic before I can add you to the stream. So your microphone, something is going on with your microphone, it says. I see you backstage, but it says something is going on with your microphone. Let me see. Boom, can you hear me? DJ RP Beats, can you hear me? Guess not. Guess not. While he's getting it together. While he's getting it together over there, y'all make sure y'all do all the YouTube stuff and the Facebook stuff. Some of y'all tuning in on Facebook. Shout out to the Facebook family. Y'all got a like button over there too. Hit that like button. Y'all got a share button over there too. Hit the share button. Let people know that we are live right now. What were some of y'all favorite albums from some of the OGs that came out this year? A lot of OGs dropped in 2024. We had new music from Ghostface Killah, MC Lyte, Eminem, Ice Cube, Common and Pete Rock dropped the album. LL Cool J dropped the album that was produced by Q-Tip. Redman just dropped a new album a couple days ago, the Muddy Waters 2 album. Rakim Allah dropped a new project where he was primarily the producer on that joint, but he did give us some bars as well. Snoop dropped a new album entirely produced by Dre. I think Snoop did 2 projects this year because I think he did something with the Dog Pound. I didn't get a chance to hear that either, but I think Snoop and the Dog Pound dropped one earlier this year. And just a couple weeks ago, he released the Missionary album that was entirely produced by Dre. And so that was some of the OGs that we got to hear from this year. And you know, that's what we're going to be getting into. So if you got a chance to check out any of the projects from some of the OGs, what were some of your favorites? Let us know in the chat what you was rocking with this year. As far as the OGs, a lot of good music came out in 2024, in my opinion. There was a lot of good projects that were released this year across the board. And so, like I said, we're going to do another broadcast probably next week sometime to talk about what some of my favorites were overall. But today, we're just going to be talking about the OGs. We're going to be talking about some of the OG projects that came out. And did I forget anybody? Because a lot of people was dropping. Those were some of the major ones. There may have been some more that I'm forgetting about right now. But those were some of the major ones that came out. Black Thought. I don't think I mentioned Black Thought. Black Thought been dropping projects in recent years, you know, period. You know, he's been on a run dropping solo projects with different producers and stuff like that for the last like 5 years or so now. He's been doing that, but he did drop one this year. I think that was the one with El Michelle's Affair. Let me see. Let me see what Black Thought put out this year. There we go. Hold on. Black Thought's album from this year. Yeah, that was the one. Well, actually, it says 2023. So I think that was last year he put out that album. And so, okay, it looks like they did a deluxe version of it this year, or they put out the instrumental version of it this year. Okay, so that album was from last year. So no, Black Thought didn't drop this year. Black Thought did not drop this year. But I still feel like I'm forgetting somebody. I still feel like I'm forgetting somebody who dropped the album. Oh, they put out some posthumous album from DMX a couple of weeks ago. Last week or the week before, they put out some posthumous album from DMX called Chapter X. Let Us Pray, Chapter X. I didn't get a chance to listen to that. I think I saw something where his family had put out a statement, I think kind of distancing themselves from that project. Let me see. Let me look that up real quick. New album. Let me see. I think they felt the way about that. Let me see. Well, here it says his daughter, Sonova Hillman Jr., appears on the posthumous. Oh, that's Exodus. No, I'm not talking about the Exodus album. Hold on. New album. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Let Us Pray. Okay. Let me see, because I think the family has said something about it. I don't see it here, but I could have swore I saw something where the family was kind of saying that they didn't approve of this album being released. They didn't have nothing to do with it, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. I don't see it here. So maybe that was just something on the internet. Maybe that was just something that somebody put out there on the internet that I happened to come across, but I don't know if it was valid or not. Most of the old artists' new music beats are bland or just don't fit them. They should stick to the beats that made them famous. Can you give me an example, Timothy? Can you give me an example of one of the new projects from one of the OGs that made you feel that way? Any particular albums that come to mind that came out this year that you felt that way about? Brother Timothy, he said most of the new artists' new music beats are bland or just don't fit them. They should stick to the beats that made them famous. Are you thinking about anybody in particular with that comment? Let me know what it was. Some of them I liked a lot. Some of them I didn't care for too much, and some of them I actually love. Some of them are going to be in heavy rotation for a good minute, and so I'm going to get into all that. I'm trying to stall a little bit to wait for RP. If y'all didn't notice, I'm trying to stall a little bit. I don't know what's going on with RP's connection over there. I think he might be switching devices or something, but he should be pulling up. Let me see. Let me just hit him up real quick. Let me see what's going on. Hold on a second, y'all. We see what's going on with album. Okay, he said the album from E40, Too Short, Snoop and Ice Cube. They did an album together too this year. So Snoop dropped a few projects this year. I didn't get a chance to listen to that one. What's going on, RP? You good?
Yo, something's up with my camera, man. My laptop. I gotta reboot. Let me see what's going on. This is weird. It's not, for some reason I'm not able to get on. So.
Okay. If not, you could just use your phone.
Yeah, that's true.
If you can't get it together, you could just use the phone. But I'll give you a few minutes to work on that. All right, peace. So something going on with his computer camera, so he's trying to get that together over there. Peace. What's going on, Bobby? See you. Freeman said, I didn't like the Eminem Tupac? I don't think they dropped no Tupac album this year. Did you mean to say Pac? I know Eminem had an album. You wasn't feeling the Eminem album? Freeman. But yeah, that Too Short, E40, and Snoop and Ice Cube, they did a project together. I did not listen to that project. I did not listen to that project at all. I don't think I heard nothing off of that project. So I have no opinion on that. I can't really judge that one. Not too sure about that one. But I guess, you said the beats didn't fit them on there. Who were some of the producers, Tim, on that album? Who were some of the producers? Because I would think that album would be kind of hot right there. And I'll try to see what Freeman was saying about Pac, because I don't think they dropped no Pac album this year. Like I said, I know they did a posthumous DMX album. Didn't get to listen to that. I don't get to listen to everything. There'd be so much stuff coming out. I try to I don't know. I just let my energy take me where the energy take me. You know what I'm saying? I used to try to just keep up with everything and make sure I listen to stuff at least one time. But now it's like, I just don't got the energy. So it got to be something about the rollout, or, I have an affinity for a particular artist, or, I'm anticipating a certain project to drop, or something just sounds interesting. The album cover, title, something got to catch me to make me say, all right, let me go ahead and check this out. You know what I'm saying? Because certain albums, I just haven't gotten around to listening to them for whatever reason. Because trying to keep up with everything is just a little bit too much. It's just a little bit too much. Yeah, I heard of Mick Jenkins. He out of Chicago, right? If I'm not mistaken. I think he went to school. He went to school with my little brother, Mick Jenkins. He's a pretty dope MC. Let me turn off this. Put this on D&D. Yeah, Mick Jenkins is a pretty dope MC, but I haven't heard no project this year. If he put out a project, I didn't hear it. What's going on, Crew Royalty? Arutta Sase, my brother. What's going on? We talking about some of the OGs that put out music in 2024. A lot of the OGs dropped new projects in 2024. A lot of legends of rap. And we here to discuss the good, the bad, and the ugly. So Crew Royalty, what were some of your favorite projects from the OGs this year? And what projects came out that maybe you wasn't feeling too tough? West Coast old school artists need a G-Funk beat. They don't sound good rapping over new school beats. I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with that, man. I think as fans sometimes, especially some of us elder statesmen, I think we try to hold some of our favorite artists that we grew up listening to. We try to hold them up to an impossible standard to a certain degree. Like, we try to hold them to the standard of what they did in the 90s. If it don't make us feel how it made us feel then we just throw it out the window and dismiss it. I don't think that's cool, to be honest. I think we need to be evolving as fans, and we need to allow the artists to evolve also. Now, again, I wasn't feeling everything that everybody put out there. Certain joints I felt, certain joints I didn't feel. But at the same time, I do try to keep things in perspective and understand that, look, I'm not going to feel the same way I felt when I was 14 years old. The first time I heard, Redman's album, There's a Dark Side or something. That shit came out when I was 14 years old. So, of course, that shit blew my mind and took me somewhere else. I'm not going to feel like that, you know what I'm saying, at this age. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to hit me the same way. So I don't have those expectations. You know what I'm saying? And so I try to, put all of that aside and listen to what's being presented now. Where's this artist at now? What are they trying to say to me now? What was the direction that they was going in with the music now? And I judge it by whether they hit their mark for what they was going for now. I'm not going to try to judge it by, is it The Chronic? You know what I'm saying? Is it Doggy Style? I'm not going to try to compare it to that and hold it to that standard. Like, I don't think that's a good way to go about it. And really, I think people who who do that don't really get to enjoy the music. I kind of look at it like, damn, like there's still some good music coming out, not just from the OGs, but just period. There's still a lot of dope music coming out, hip hop music coming out. But you got people that's so stuck in a certain era, they can't even allow themselves to absorb it and be able to enjoy it. Like we still here now. You know what I'm saying? Like this is my era now as well. It's not just my era back then. People talk about my era back in my day. Yeah, I can speak about that era because I lived through it. I experienced it, but I'm also living through this era now and experiencing things now. You know what I mean? So this is my era too. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if I feel that way about they gotta have G-funk beats or whatever. If they could find another sound and go in a different direction, and it sounds good and it feels good, then it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. I ain't been listening to much. Not Like Us, some 38 Special, that Lord Jamar, that new Lord Jamar is what stands out. Okay. Talking about that Elephant in the Room joint. Was it that Elephant in the Room joint from Lord Jamar? The record label stopped spending money on top producers once you become old school artists. All right, that might be true. That might be true, but you got dope producers out there, you know, where you don't really need that kind of budget. You got some dope ass producers out there that's hungry, that's making fly shit. You got young musicians out there. You can still put together some dope shit without having, you know, Timbaland and Pharrell and, you know, Dr. Dre and all these guys on your project. You can still put together some dope shit. You just got to find some inspiration. And here go DJ RP Beast. What's going on, King?
What's good, family? Happy holiday.
Happy holidays, man. Everything good with you and the fam?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. You know, yes, sir. So, yeah, man, you touching on this new era, which is still our era, as you said, and a lot of heat out there, a lot of projects, a lot of OGs came back to the game, man. Seems like we having a little bit of a renaissance.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm going through some of the comments. Did the Lox put out an album this year?
I know they had a single out.
I didn't hear a Lox project. I might have missed the Lox project if they dropped. I'm gonna have to check that out if they did.
Yeah, I didn't see a project. I saw a single. They just put out another single, maybe a few weeks back. But yeah, I didn't see a whole project out though.
I gotta look for that.
I know
they missed that.
They've been doing shows.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
They're definitely active. But I don't think I saw a project drop. Hold on.
Yeah, a lot of these OGs, man, you know, we got the Snoop joint, you know, that just dropped. You know, we getting mixed reviews on that. A lot of people were expecting the old sound, as you said, like the OG funk.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of complaints on that. The Redman.
I see they put out a single this year, that Isley Money. I heard that. Yeah.
The Isley.
No album. No album from the Lox.
No album. We just got the Muddy Waters 2 Redman joint.
Right.
30 something songs on there. What was your vibe on that?
All right, so I guess let's get into it. So let's get into it.
Yeah.
So I still didn't get through it. Like you said, it's 32 something songs on there. I didn't even get to finish it, but I listened to most of it.
Right.
Yesterday.
Okay.
And it's just one time. It's the first listen. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it was underwhelming. I wasn't feeling it too much, you know, to be honest. I was like, nah, for the most part. There was like maybe one or two joints that had me bobbing my head a little bit.
Right.
It's weird, man. Like with Redman, he's been like this whole year, he's been putting out a lot of freestyles. He's been, you know, jacking beats and doing his whole freestyle run leading up to the Muddy Waters release. And even a lot of the freestyles, I wasn't really, I was like, you know, and let me say this, because people don't know this, man. I am a big Redman fan.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Nas my favorite MC. I'm pretty sure if you follow me for a while, you know that. Nas my favorite MC. But before Nas, it was Redman. It was Redman. When I was, this is like around 92 through like 95, around that time, in my bedroom, I only had two people on my wall. One side of my room was nothing but Michael Jordan posters. I was Michael Jordan fanatic. You know, Mike was the man at that time. You know what I'm saying? Right. I was a Michael Jordan fanatic. You know, I used to play ball and all of that shit too. So everybody wanted to be like Mike. So one side of my room was nothing but Michael Jordan posters. Other side of my room was all Reggie Noble posters. Right. It was just Reggie Noble. You had EPMD because he was with the Hit Squad. He was with Def Squad. And so you had some, you know, EPMD pictures mixed in there, DOS Effects pictures mixed in there, Keith Murray, and everybody that was down with Redman. But it was Redman. That whole side of my room was a Redman theme. I had red light bulbs, all that shit. Like Redman, I had the big afro, so walking around with the snot tissue in my nose. You know what I'm saying? I was obsessed with Redman as a child.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And still love Redman. Loved him all throughout the years. But if I'm being honest, it sounds like Reggie Noble lost a step or two to me lyrically. Like, I'm not feeling it, man. I'm not feeling it. What you thought, though? What was your thoughts?
You know, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I mean, there was a couple, like you said, it was a couple of joints where I kind of felt or heard a little vintage Redman on some of the joints, but it wasn't raw. The album is not raw. Like, and I'm gonna say maybe it's again, like when we connected to the Dr. Dre Snoop thing, it's like Def Squad had a sound, and it was like a raw, muddy, dirty, dark sound that they created, similar to like Snoop and them with G-Funk. It was
the same samples,
right? It was a funkadelic, funky vibes, and then, you know, but they had their own equivalent to like the New York of it because of the drums, and it was more underground, dirty, grimy type of thing. Dre was more polished production, more musicality with the G-Funk.
Yes.
So Eric Sermon kind of ushered in a darker sound, you know, kind of coming from the EPMD, you know, signature. So when he married that with Redman, it just was like a marriage in heaven. You know what I'm saying?
And Redman produced a lot of stuff back then too.
Yeah, but see, they had a formula. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, there was a formula to it. They knew how to lay it out, and there was a chemistry. So now you remove Redman from that, and they didn't like continue to work. They did Muddy Waters 1, and it was mostly Eric Sermon produced, but they had a formula. So when you look at like Whatever Man and all the stuff that hit from Muddy Waters 1, it was all Eric Sermon with Redman, kind of with the formula. Now you remove it. What is it? 20 years later, and it's kind of like
30, damn near
30, right? So they haven't worked together in a long time, and they kind of like they weren't really working together. So now it's not like Eric Sermon is at the helm of this. It's kind of like Redman is kind of working with different people. Eric Sermon is on there, but he's not the dominant factor in this project. So it's not like they came back together and kind of built the framework for this album, and then they kind of developed and crafted the songs. You know, it's kind of like when you listen to it, it's like scattered ideas. He's working with different people. He's trying different things. That's the way it sounds. It's like, let me see what hits. Let me see what sticks. That's the way it's like he has 30 records, right? Why is there 30 records? Right. He's trying to find something. That's what it sounds like. He's trying to figure out a new way, a new formula. He's trying to see what's gonna stick.
And
it's scattered.
It's on an independent label, if I'm not mistaken, too, right?
Right.
Hold on a second. Let me go over here. Let me pull that joint up.
Yeah, scattered, man.
Pull that joint up. And like, you know, some things are just better left alone. Like, why call it Muddy Waters? You know what I'm saying? And try to recapture that, because it almost feels forced. Because the thing about Redman, like Redman was very lyrical, and he has that, you know, amazing voice. You know what I'm saying? But one of the main things about Redman was his character, his personality.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He was mad funny. You know what I'm saying? All of the skits with Uncle Quilly and you know what I'm saying? Sit your big ass down and all that stuff. And the Superman lover. It was almost like when you listen to Redman, it was almost like reading a comic book.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like a dark comic book, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
R-rated, X-rated, you know what I'm saying?
And you know what too, I want to say to you another thing is you got to remember there was a level of competition around the time when these guys were putting out these projects. There were so many solid lyricists that was around them that they were competing against. It's not that at this time. So, you know, their swords aren't as sharp. They don't really have the motivation. It's kind of like
you're trying to compete against the old you. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is this, it's hard. And to be fair, for artists like Redman specifically,
right,
it's hard to do because
right,
a lot of that came out of his childlike creativity.
Right.
Just the freedom of being a child and just using your imagination and just being free like that. Right. As a 50-something-year-old man, you kind of don't have that anymore. So that's why it feels forced. Like even with the skits and everything, it's not even as funny. Like this probably not your personality no more, for real. You know what I'm saying? So who is Redman now? And maybe we should have got that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you should have been okay with delivering a project that speaks to who you are now at 50-something years old, but trying to capture that childlike imagination. Right. It just, you know, it ain't really hit like it was supposed to hit.
Right. And I think that's another thing with a lot of these artists with the sequels. Like everybody's trying to do a sequel now. And it's like it's, you know, too far removed. The energy is different. Like you said, your lifestyle is different. The climate of the game is different. You don't really have a lot of the same lyricists and, you know, peers that push you to another level. And that's what Kim said about his contemporaries. You know what I mean? He said about the G-Raps and the Kanes and those guys. He was like, yeah, I came in as an innovator, but to keep me sharp, I had to look at what they, you know, how they were raising the bar around me. So that made me go and create Follow the Leader and Let the Rhythm Hit 'Em and, you know, these projects because I knew I had stiff competition around me. You know,
that makes sense too. But again, and this goes back to what I was saying before you hopped on about a lot of us from our era. Are you really tapped into the music now? Because there's still a lot of dope artists right now.
Yeah, I don't think they listening to these younger guys. I don't think, like when you talk about like the Griseldas and these guys, you know, the 38 Specials and these guys, they're not really tapped into these guys.
You got niggas putting out hard shit right now. If you're looking for inspiration and something to give you that type of drive to push your pen again, you know what I'm saying? It's there. It's there if you tap in.
If you tap in. Another thing too, if you feel like you so far in the sky, like I'm a legend, I don't need to tap in. I set the bar. You know what I'm saying? I don't need the young guys.
Right. That yeah.
I'm the father. I'm the father of their style. I'm this. You know what I mean? So a lot of these OGs take that position.
So then you making me think of two things. You know, with this part of the conversation, the Snoop album and the Eminem album, right? And so I want to transition to the Eminem album from here because I think, you know, it coincides with what we're saying with the Redman project a little bit. Right. Because they're similar as far as the personality, you know what I'm saying, the approach to making music. When I was talking about with the imagination and the childlike creativity and all of that stuff, and the appeal that they had is very similar. And they're both older now, still trying to recapture because Eminem's project is somewhat of a sequel too. You know what I'm saying?
The Shady is that, yeah.
And so
I'm Shady.
And so, to be honest, I don't know how you felt about it. I thought the Eminem project was good.
Yeah, I did too, actually. I'll be honest with you. I think it was a sleeper. A lot of people didn't want to like touch it. And then when they started listening, they were like, yo, this is an actual solid project. Like I was, a lot of people were surprised.
I ain't going front on Eminem. This is his best project.
Yeah.
to me, since probably the Eminem show.
So yeah, Eminem show was one of my favorites. And
I don't think he like everything else after that was trash.
Yeah,
It was either trash or it was mid.
Yeah.
To me, you know what I'm saying?
Tried to come with the encore and all that. It was like, this is trash. So I kind of tuned out.
Right. And you know,
this was very refreshing. And also give Eminem credit for that collaboration that he did with LL. That was
cool.
Yeah, that was another OG that tried to step back in with a project this year.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that too. but let's stick to the Eminem for now.
All right.
Let's stick to the Eminem project for now. So you saying you like the album?
Yeah, I thought
the album was good for you.
Yeah, I thought it was refreshing. You know, I think he had a battery in his back. He felt like, again, what I said earlier, he felt like he had something to prove. And, you know, he sharpened his pen. And one thing about
it, and this is the same thing that I will say when we get into the Snoop project. From here, we're going to go into the Snoop project, and then I guess we'll get into the LL. But I think Eminem, his project comes across as very focused. Yes. You know what I'm saying? It's not all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Right. The concept that he came up with, he landed it. You know, he stuck to it perfectly.
Right.
And you know, it was funny. You know, it was lighthearted. It was Eminem.
Right.
It was vintage Eminem. You know, the rhymes was good. The production was good. It was very clean.
Yeah. And the visuals.
You know, it was a good Eminem album. You know what I'm saying? And people know I'm very critical of Eminem.
Right.
People know I'm very critical of Eminem. I'm not one of these guys who think Eminem is top 5 and none of that shit. He's not.
Right.
And to me, this album, as good as it is, it proves that.
Right.
It proves that because this is Eminem at his best. And can we say that this is the best rap music? Can we say that this is the best form of rap music? Is this is the highest degree that we're able to, for the people that put Eminem way up there like that? This is the best that we're gonna get from Eminem. This project right here. Right. Good project now, but is this your king? is this your king? Like I don't think so. I don't think so. Right. But good job from Eminem. It was a good project from him. I think this is where he should have been the whole time, as far as you know, conceptually and all of that.
Yeah. He wasn't reaching for like commercial or anything like that. He just stayed true to his original formula. Like he wasn't looking for radio records, nothing. He always like, I'm a legend. I have a base. I know my character. Let me just go back to my formula.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
it was good. And then you also see me. I'm a person that reads the credits. Right. I get into the credits. I want to know who was the studio personnel. You know what I'm saying? Right. The producers, the writers, everybody that was involved in the project. And so some of the people that was a part of the creation of that project are the same people that were involved in this new Snoop project. And so what was your thoughts about the Snoop project?
Again, it's kind of like you're trying to recapture the original. It's a sequel, right? And Dr. Dre is at the helm. But like you and I had some discussions in the past, and I said you got to recall it was Daz, it was Warren G was the sample guy. It's kind of like the Bomb Squad. It's like all of these guys have a role in creating a sound. It's like, you know, we on a factory, right? We're assembling. So Warren G brings this, Daz brings that, and you know Dre is, you know, the sound man. But when you exclude Warren G, and Warren G just spoke about it, he was like, I don't know why he didn't call me. I had some things I wanted to bring to it. And Daz is not involved, and you're trying to capture a sound that you can't capture alone. And I think that that's a part of the Snoop sound. It's like we talk about G-Funk. The G-Funk can evolve, but you still need the scientists behind the sound to come together and bring the band back together to update it. And I think that Dre brought Snoop more of a commercial sound, and he tried to label it, you know, Doggy Style, and tried to say it was that, and it wasn't to me. You
And
know,
so
he didn't deliver that, you know, and that's what the real heads that, you know, Doggy Style is an album that created a cult following, you know, it's just that. And so if you label it that, you got to bring that sound to it. That's just my opinion.
right. And I had a feeling that this is where me and you was definitely going to disagree at. Because this Snoop album, I love this Snoop album. Nigga, this was
It's a good album, but it's not Doggy Style.
Hold on, let me cook.
All right.
This album was a pleasant surprise for me. I almost didn't even listen to the album. I wasn't anticipating this album. I wasn't saying like, oh, Snoop and Dre back together. I know this album gonna be. I didn't think nothing of it. You know, when I seen them promoting it and pushing it and all that, Missionary, I'm like, oh, all right, cool, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I'll listen to it when I listen to it. I'll get around to it. But they put out a little short film, and I happened to watch that, the little short film thing that they did. I watched that, and then I watched the interview that Cam did with Snoop. Cameron interviewed Snoop.
Right.
I watched that, and they was playing snippets of a couple of joints on that shit. And I'm like, damn, this shit sound hard. And so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna listen to the album now. Nigga, I like that album. That might be my favorite album this year.
Really?
That might be my favorite album this year. I love it from top to bottom. I agree with you that it's not Doggy Style as far as sonically. It doesn't sound like Doggy Style. But I don't think that was what they tried to do. They went in another day. They gave you this is what I was saying about the thing that would be hard for Redman to accomplish. Who is Redman now? Right. They didn't try to give us who they were back then. They gave you these grown men, masters at their craft. You know what I'm saying? At this stage in their life, it was a new direction. It was a new sound, but they gave it that title. So I understand what you're saying, but I don't think just because they gave it that title that they was trying to recapture that vibe or recapture that sound. It's nothing like Doggy Style. But to me, this is Snoop's best project other than Doggy Style. He don't got another project this hard.
I just feel like you can't call it a sequel. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going in a different direction, if you're calling something the sequel, we're looking for the band to come back together that made the original what it was. I'm looking for Corrupt. I'm looking for Daz. I'm looking
but listen,
for, you know what I mean? What made us love that first album? I'm looking for an update of it. If you're saying this is a sequel to it, you know, then make it that.
But you saying the word sequel, right?
Right. You said this
but listen. The first one is Doggy Style.
Right.
This one is called Missionary.
Right.
So those are two different positions.
Right.
Those are not the same position.
Right.
Update. When you hitting it from the back,
right.
It's a whole different motion than when you on top. Because when you hitting it from the back, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying you don't do this with wifey. You better do this with wifey. But usually when you think about Doggy Style, it's just a jump off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This is a jumper. You just smashing something. But when you think of Missionary, you think more of love making. It's a whole different approach to it. You know what I'm saying? You face to face. It's more intimate. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I don't expect you to go in the same direction Doggy Style as you're going to go in Missionary. My personal expectations. You know what I'm saying? And so,
man.
Go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, like, no, I agree with you on that. Yes, you're gonna update. You're gonna approach it differently, but you still bringing the energy. You're still in that same energy. You
said you like it though, right? You said it was a good project.
I think it's a good project. I just don't think it's in the same range as Doggy Style. Like, okay, if we go back to the Chronic, right? He did the Chronic, and then he did the Chronic 2001. He updated the sound. He had the same people involved, and he maintained the value in the sonics of. He just made it better. It's like he had Corrupt. he had Daz, he had all the guys involved, but he just updated it to Chronic 2001. He brought Snoop back. He brought the band back, and it was incredible.
I agree with you. I
It was
agree with
incredible.
you that, and
So-
I agree with you.
so-
That's a good example.
Right.
Using
So
the
I
Chronic
was-
and the Chronic 2001.
Exactly. So that's what a lot of the fans were looking for. We were looking for
That's
an
the
update.
point right there.
We were looking for that. That's what we
That's-
like an update.
That's the point right there, though. And that's the thing that I'm trying to get across. Okay, so it's not that the music ain't good, it's our expectations.
Stations, right?
Because you're saying that's what the fans are looking for. And so what I try to do,
Right.
what I try to do is remove my expectations. I'm not looking for nothing. I'm just trying to see what you're giving me now at this stage in your life, and I want to judge it by that. I don't want to judge it with my preconceived notions, because that's what takes away from it for me. When I already come into it with these expectations, like it's almost like this. If somebody like when you know, that's how it comes across. Like soon as you hit play, you like, nigga, this better be doggy style. If this ain't doggy style, nigga, I'm turning this shit off. This shit is a frisbee.
Right.
Nah, I try not to do that to myself,
Right.
because I want to be able to enjoy what's happening now. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Because that's the thing. Like when you have a core fan base and an album, when the album is a classic, see, it's a different bar. So now you made a classic that changed, that shifted the culture. So it's like, and you say, okay, I'm gonna give you guys a sequel to this album that shifted the culture and was a classic. So now, like you said, the average fan who was a fan of that first album, they're gonna measure it to it. You see what I'm saying? So they're gonna measure the track list. Like it's down to the track list. The opening song versus the first album's opening song. They're gonna measure it from top to bottom. They even gonna measure the artwork. Like
you're right. You're right. You're not wrong.
You know
but
what I'm saying?
I'm saying the reason why I don't do that, me personally, and you're right. Most fans, that's exactly what they're gonna do.
Right.
But the reason why I try not to do that is because I think, to be honest, if they tried to do doggy style, if they tried to recapture what doggy style was 30 years later,
right,
it would have been the same result that we got from Redman trying to
recreate.
You know what I'm saying? It would have been the same result, because doggy style, nigga, we was 14 years old when it came out.
Yeah.
We was 14 years old.
But granted, he did it with the Chronic, so it's like he was able to achieve.
That wasn't 30 years removed.
But that's true.
That wasn't 30 years removed. So you're not that much of a different evolved human being.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? 7 years later, what? That was 7 years later, 6, 7 years later. You know what I mean? Like you damn near still in the same era.
Right.
You know what I mean? It felt like a long time at that time because we were younger. It felt like a long time, but from 93 to 2000, you know what I'm saying? It was in the same decade.
Yeah.
So that's a little different. And plus, you know, the world was different at that time. The industry was still pretty much the same. The way music was released, you still had MTV, you still had BET. You know, radio was still important. We didn't have the internet yet. Everything is different now. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we got to deal with where we at now, in my opinion. But when we do next week, when we do our favorite albums, Snoop is going to be on my list, and let y'all know that right now. So we'll get more into it, and I'll break down, you know, what I really liked about the album and stuff like that when we do this again next week. But moving on, LL, what was your thoughts on the LL project?
I like the LL project, but I felt like he was definitely, you know, he was definitely fresh into it. I love Q-Tip, but I just don't think it was a good marriage production wise. I think that Q-Tip tried to give LL Tribe Called Quest music instead of making LL music sonically. But lyrically, I thought LL was dope. He proved that he still can rhyme and he still had a vision, but I just don't think it was a good marriage with him and Q-Tip.
I agree with that 100%, and I'm not gonna place the blame squarely on Q-Tip because I felt like both of them tried to approach it that way. Like I felt like LL didn't want to do. Oh, I didn't know I had that on the screen, but I felt like LL didn't. You know, he wanted to go in that different direction. He felt like working with Q-Tip was going to allow him to step into that world and go in a different direction. And it was very underwhelming for me.
Yeah, it was
you know
like
what I'm saying?
I listened to it maybe twice. I never went back to it. I'm just gonna keep
Right.
and I love both. I love both of them.
Love both of them. No, and speaking of that, LL, for the record, was my first favorite rapper. First favorite rapper I ever had was LL. You know what I'm saying? So it's not no hate. And obviously, Tribe Called Quest, Q-Tip, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, now this was an album that I was anticipating. When I heard about them two linking up to do a project, he was talking about it for a long time before it came out.
Forward to it, you know.
So I was looking forward to this project. Especially, I started to get more excited when they dropped the single with Rick Ross and Fat Joe. Fat Joe was out of place on there, but I thought that was a dope song. You know what I'm saying? I like how, you know what I'm saying, that song came out, little video and all that. I'm like, okay, this, you know, I think LL album is gonna be fire. I was thinking it was gonna be hard.
I like the Eminem joint. You know what I mean? I like that because it gave me a taste of the old LL. You know, a tempo vibe and the fast flows, and you know what I mean. I like that.
I'm not gonna say I hated it or nothing. I'm going to say I didn't like the song with Eminem. It was a cool song, but my critique on that song is LL made the mistake that a lot of people make when they do records with Eminem, and they try to do what Eminem does.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And to me, that shows. Damn, I gotta keep it a buck, y'all. I gotta keep it a buck. LL is a legend. Yeah, LL is a legend. I love LL. But this whole project, but especially the song with Eminem, even though it's pretty good, it shows LL's limitation as an MC. Because you try to step into Eminem's lane and do what Eminem does, and only thing you're doing is rapping fast.
Right.
That's the only thing that you're doing. You're not really doing the acrobatics. You ain't really doing too many compound syllables and the witty wordplay and all of that stuff mixed in with the, like, Eminem does more than just rap fast. You know what I'm saying? Like Eminem is a technically sound MC.
Now,
technical side of things, he does the acrobats.
I'm gonna be honest, like, you're right about that, and I won't cut you off, but I want to add on, like, when I heard what Eminem was able to do with the wordplay on that, it gave me a whole different level of respect for him as a lyricist with that. Like, he kind of knows how, like you said, he kind of knows how to bob and weave in between the lines.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, I was like, wow.
He does. And again, y'all know I'm very critical of Eminem. A lot of people think I hate on Eminem or I just don't like Eminem at all, but that's not true. I respect Eminem as an MC. You know what I'm saying? I think he's dope. I just don't have him way up there at the top like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I do respect his craft and his penmanship. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's nice. He's nice at what he does.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's not what LL does. You know what I'm saying? LL's nice, but not in the same way. You know what I'm saying? And so for him to try to do that, it just shows like, okay, you're not really like that, L.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're not really like that.
Can't
you know?
go far with this kid, even though you're trying to show us that you can, but can't though.
Yeah. You're not like that, L. You know what I'm saying? And so I agree with you. The pairing between him and Q-Tip wasn't a good pairing. Yeah. And I just thought it was weird to hear LL trying to drop like God Body Science and
that was like he did that joint. I was like, what is this? Like, what are you doing? Like, this is not like
you got the song with Nas. He got the song with Nas. Nas bodied it. Nas did his thing on that joint. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But LL, he went through the whole Supreme Mathematics and the whole Supreme Alphabets on his verse. And I'm like, first of all, since when, L? Like, first of all, since when, my nigga? Like, all right, you're going to try to come across like, okay, you had knowledge of self this whole time. You just decided to go in a different direction with your career. But all right, fine. If that's the case, you're gonna have to drop some real jewels. You can't just say the mathematics. Like that's all he doing is just saying the mathematics. You know what I'm saying? He's not.
Yo, but you know what I took? But it's funny because I told you, I said maybe this was the album he always wanted to do, but they shut him down because they knew it was gonna be. Maybe. Okay, okay, fine. I can consider that. Maybe you always wanted to kick knowledge and do some knowledge, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And now you got the freedom to do so. Okay, fine. Right. But if you're gonna do that, LL, if you're gonna do that, you're gonna really have to have something to say. You can't just quote the math and the supreme alphabets. Like that's the beginner stages. Right. Like you just did you just get knowledge yourself?
Well, who knew, right?
I
was a shocker. Who knew? Like, okay.
I was like, what? I just feel so forced and fake.
Yeah.
I'm like, like if you're gonna spit from the lessons, you got to connect it to what's going on in real life today and make it practical. You can't just say knowledge, wisdom, understanding, culture, freedom. You can't just say that and act like you dropping some type of jewel.
Right, you dropping science, right?
like, come on, L. Like, nah, my nigga. I was hoping I was going to get some. I'm gonna love you better.
Now, you know what's funny? I was pissed off because I was like, "Where are those joints?"
Right.
Because of course, people know I'm a DJ. So in my mind, I'm like, I'm looking for the joints for the ladies so we can rock in the club. Like, you know what I'm saying? Who do you love? Love you better. I'm looking for a few of them. Hey, lover. I'm looking for a few of them joints. Mm-hmm. And it was like, I'm skipping. I'm like, where are those joints? Like, bro, you got to still feed your core base. Right. The ladies, man, give us 2 or 3 of them. And then you can work around that. He didn't even deliver on that. I'm gonna be honest. I was disappointed.
He did the one with Sweetie.
Yeah,
with Sweetie, it was
it's not the formula, but it was like, it's all right.
I think LL would have been better with Pharrell.
Yeah, he should have did a project with Pharrell.
And let Pharrell produce you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think that's what I liked about this Snoop project.
Yes.
You could tell Snoop was not in the driver's seat.
No.
Snoop said, "All right, whatever y'all tell me to do, that's what I'm going to do." And they had a team of young, fresh meat, surrounding Dr. Dre, not just him and Dr. Dre trying to recapture the old moment, but they brought fresh meat into the studio.
Yeah. That's what Dre. He had a team of his producers with him.
And writers because Snoop. Yeah, and I said we're gonna talk about this next week, but Snoop ain't write all them damn rhymes.
No, he didn't. He was spitting in ways that I was like, "Whoa!" Like
Snoop spitting,
right? Like that.
Snoop spitting, nigga. I'm like, "Whoa!" But I'm not mad. I'm not mad that at this stage he allowed, you know what I'm saying, people to come in and give that type of input because you Snoop, you could just sit on your high horse and be Snoop, but he was like, "Nah." What you got for me? Let me see. You know what I'm saying? Let's bring this together. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so we're gonna talk about that next week. But Snoop's spin game is crazy, but not that crazy. Snoop is not
never fit that
this album, Snoop is spitting. He ain't never heard Snoop rap like this.
Yeah, he's going in. Like it's different. There's because anybody who knows, like I'm researched, like DLC was instrumental in Doggy Style and some of the stuff. He was helping him write early on. This is a different Snoop.
Yeah.
This like more lyrical. You know what I'm saying?
Way more lyrical.
Snoop wasn't that deep lyrically. So let's cut that out. Let's be real.
Yeah, Snoop is more melodic and you know what I'm saying? Catchphrases and stuff like that. You know, he got the swag and the personality to just carry it. But Snoop is really, really rhyming on this project. And again, like I said, y'all make sure y'all tune in next week. We're gonna get into the intricacies of all of that.
Yeah.
So that was the LL project. Okay. Now we gotta go. Now we gotta go here. And I think me and you already talked about this, so I think I already know how you feel about Pete Rock and Common's album.
Oh my God.
People love this album, man.
Look,
it's nominated for a Grammy.
They just announced they're doing the sequel to it.
The sequel is coming in 2025. People love the Common and Pete Rock album. What's your thoughts? Your honest thoughts? How many times did you listen to it? You know, give me your breakdown
I
on this
listened
album,
to
man.
this. Well, first of all, I'm gonna let the people know a lot of these songs were similar to some of the things we had dropped on some of our bed of our projects, especially like the Sun joint. But to remove that, just as a fan of Common and Pete, I didn't really think it was that solid in terms of the lyrical standard that Common had established on like B and Water for Chocolate. I think lyrically he was subpar in this album. Beat wise, Pete Rock has done way better production for a body of work. Like The Main Ingredient, Back in the Soul Brother, Soul Survivor 1. He's demonstrated, you know, that he can do way better work beat wise. So this album, I don't know. People saying it's a 9 or a 10 or, you know, this Big Five Mike thing. I don't hear it. Like I've listened to it a few times. It's decent, but as far as like when I listen to like Water for Chocolate by Common, you know, at the helm with JD behind the beats, Jay Dilla, like that's a certified classic, like lyrical standard. I've heard Common really go in. So I was expecting a higher threshold in terms of the production and the lyricism. I didn't get that. And, you know, a lot of people were just riding the wave, but it wasn't on that level to me. I don't rank it like a Five Mike album. That's just me.
Man, I agree with you. And let me just say, I always try to separate the art from the artist. There's a lot of artists out there that I might not like them as a person. I might not rock with them, who they are and what they represent outside of the studio. But if their music is good, I still fuck with the music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I do my best to separate the art from the artist, because we know Pete Rock is a tether. Pete Rock been out here on some tether shit for the last few years, you know, talking about, you know, Jamaica's created hip hop and all that. He been on that shit.
Clown stuff.
You know what I'm saying? And Common, you know, we talked about it on the last project, the Masters Table project. Common's been really shilling for the Democrats heavy.
Big time.
You know what I'm saying? And so again, I try to put all of that to the side and still be able to enjoy the music.
Right.
And so when I heard Pete Rock and Common was making this album, it was highly anticipated for me. I'm like, oh shit, Pete Rock and Common. You know what I mean? That should be a good one. You know, I don't fuck with their politics. You know what I'm saying? I definitely don't agree with the tether shit Pete Rock be on, but nigga, I know who Pete Rock is. I know who Common is. So yeah, this album, I'm doing the Birdman hand rub.
Masterpiece, looking for a masterpiece.
And so, to be honest, I was kind of happy that it was trash to me, because now I don't gotta listen to these fuck niggas. The album, man, and look, we don't even gotta go back to Water for Chocolate and the B album and all of that. Those are certified classics for sure.
Right.
But even recent projects from Common, like the what's the name of that Black America album? I think it was called Black America or something like that.
Last joint.
And the one Beautiful Something, Don't Forget Who You Are. Like he got some joints on those projects. He's spitting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This album right here,
he was focused on those projects. He had a theme. This project, there was really no theme. You know what I mean? Like, what we come from an era where there's a theme, there's a like a whole theme, and like the songs kind of tie into it. This album they put out, it didn't really have that. So when you talk about these past projects that Common put out, he had a theme, and all the songs connected to that theme, the skits, whatever. This album, it was just like they just ran in there, random beats, you know, spit whatever, and just throw it together. There was no fabric. There was no fabric tying everything in. It was just like, you know, just a whole song.
Okay, you said Pete Rock and Common album was a good album. Pete Rock used mostly Curtis Mayfield type beats. The album is not trash and likely will win the Grammy. You don't need a theme if the beats sound good. I can agree with the last part of that. You don't necessarily need a theme, but to me, it was a snooze
Now,
fest.
I'm
This shit put me to sleep.
No, but you do, to me, you do need a theme, because when we look at Water for Chocolate and B, those albums were conceptual albums. Some of the greatest hip hop albums. It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back. Those albums had themes. You know what I'm saying?
All right, but there's no theme to Illmatic.
Well, yeah, that's true. There's really
Right.
no, but
a theme is good if you're gonna nail the theme. You know what I'm saying? But you can make a dope album without a theme.
You can, but to me, those albums stood out more. They stand out. Water for Chocolate, B, those albums stand out. This album,
but it wasn't because of the theme. It's because it was good.
It was good, but he had what I'm saying, like, to me, when there's a focus, where you're writing toward a focus, that thing ties into the skits and other things. It seems like lyrically, he's concentrating more. He's writing with a purpose. It's not like random songs. Yeah, you can make random good songs, but when you're tying in, you have a focus that you're writing toward, it creates a better body of work, to me, in my opinion.
I understand.
You know what I'm saying?
Common sounds to me on this album, it's like what we were saying about LL trying to drop bars. That's what Common sound like on this album to me. Like
just spit whatever.
He was just saying slogans.
Right.
Like you wasn't really saying nothing deep.
It wasn't focused. It was just like, oh, here's a Pete Rock beat. I'll just write what comes to mind and just throw it together.
The rhymes was weak, man.
It sounds like he's just writing to whatever comes to mind. Here's a Curtis Mayfield sample. Let me just make up an idea. There's no focus. There's no theme. That's what I'm talking about.
The rhymes was basic as hell. Like there's no bars on there.
I met Jill at the mall and we strolled a little. It's like, bro, what is this?
Right. It was very ABC. It was very ABC. Now, as far as Pete Rock's production, I didn't think the production was trash. It was just redundant. It was redundant. Like it didn't have no movement to it. Like every beat sounds the same. I wouldn't have been inspired either if I was Common. I wouldn't have been inspired.
Like Pete, you know, like I said, like from a production standpoint, he's done way better bodies of work top to bottom. You know, even in the arrangements, the horns, the effects, the bass lines, the drops, it wasn't really nothing really stood out. You know, there was a few moments, but to me, like as a Pete Rock fan and a fellow producer, somebody who's listened over the years, he didn't put his best foot forward.
What this showed me about Pete Rock is he's not a producer. He's a beat maker. Pete Rock can make a dope ass beat, but he's not a producer.
Right.
You know, he's not the person that belongs in the driver's seat controlling the direction of a project from top to bottom. Somebody else's job got to be that, to bring everything together. Pete Rock can get on the machines and make some dope beats.
Right.
But somebody else got to have the vision for the direction of the album to bring everything together. Right. And I think maybe Common let Pete Rock get in the driver's seat, and that's why the shit crashed out.
Yeah.
The shit crashed out. This ain't no good album to me.
It's not a good album, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I haven't gone back to it since. And that's another thing. Like for me as a DJ, as a fellow producer, usually, like, to me, if it's a theme and the songs all kind of connect and there's a body of work that I can kind of follow and is dope as well, it's going to create, you know, a desire to go back and listen. I haven't had a desire to go back on it, like play it in my car.
I tried to force myself because I wanted to like this album.
There's no,
I listened to it many times trying to see if I was missing something.
Yeah.
Because I keep seeing people celebrating it. Yeah. You know, I'm like, it got nominated for a Grammy. And not that the Grammys really mean anything to me, it doesn't. But certain people that I do respect were bigging up the album. So I'm like, damn, am I missing something? So I kept going back to it. And I was like, nah, this ain't it.
Yeah, the replay value isn't there. I'm sorry. I'm not being a hater. I'm not calling it whack, but the replay value isn't there. I'm just going to keep it a bean. You know what I mean? I'm not like this. no songs popping up in my head like, oh my God, let me go throw that on real quick. I'm hearing that.
Nothing got added to the playlist. Nothing got added to the playlist. At least certain albums I might not like the whole joint from top to bottom, but I could take certain joints and add it to my gym playlist or my driving playlist or whatever. Nothing got added to the playlist from this album. Nothing.
Yeah, all right. No disrespect. I hope, if they win, that's fine, but still not. And it's still not on the level of some of Pete Rock's, work that were classic joints. I'm sorry. The main ingredient for me, like Mac and the Soul Brother, like I said, Soul Survivor 1, there's certain bodies of work that just like, wow. I always go back, like, this is classic. This album is crazy.
Right. And so who's in that category? You got Common and Pete Rock is nominated for the Grammy. The Eminem album is nominated. Doechii album is in that category.
Yeah,
I don't know if you got a chance to hear that.
Yeah, Doechii, man, she's a breath of fresh air to me.
Yeah, I like her.
This new generation, she's highly.
And it took me a little adjusting to really get into this project. I already liked her. The project itself, I was like, I don't know how I feel about it, but after a couple more listens and watching some of her performances and then going back, I definitely respect her project. I think it belongs in the category. Who else they got in there? Let me see that best rap album.
Got it.
Let me see. Grammy. No, 2025. Let me see who's nominated. Oh, J. Cole might delete later.
J. Cole.
Common and Pete Rock, The Auditorium. Doechii, Alligator Bites, and the Slim Shady joint.
Eminem.
And Metro Boomin and Future.
I'm gonna be honest. I believe, as far as album, I believe that they're gonna give it to Eminem. That's just me.
Yeah, the Grammys are probably gonna give it to Eminem.
Eminem for best album, best rap performance. Might be Eminem again.
Who's in that category? Who's in that category?
Kendrick. You know what? Kendrick. It'll go to Kendrick. Not Like Us.
Yeah, he definitely getting that.
Yeah, Kendrick is getting best rap performance. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it a bean on that.
Royalty said, "I sure hope Doechii is FBA. Not sure if she is or not. She from down there in Florida. I think she might be. But I'm not on the side necessarily of hoping that she's FBA or not. To me, it don't matter because even though I'm liking her as an artist, I'm also seeing some alternative agendas going to be coming down the line with her.
Okay. Yeah.
Remember I said that. Remember I said that early.
Yep.
Y'all mark my words.
Yep.
She's going to be used to usher in some other alternative type of agendas.
Yep.
i.e. LGBTQ, feminism, something along those lines is coming to be attached with Doechii.
Branding.
And so I like her as an artist, but I'm smelling some agendas. All right. I'm just going to say that. Who's in that category? You said
best
Eminem,
best rap performance, Cardi B, Pete Rock.
Cardi B for what?
Enough. I don't even know the song.
Enough.
Best rap performance, Cardi B, Enough. Pete Rock, Sun Shines Again. Doechii, the Nissan Altima joint. Houdini by Eminem. Like That by Metro Boomin. Kendrick Lamar and Future. Yeah Glow, Glorilla. And Not Like Us, Kendrick Lamar. I believe Kendrick had the biggest song. And I believe
Kendrick should get that.
Yeah, he's going to take best rap performance and also best rap song. He's going to take both of those.
Best rap album. Who you said Eminem going to take best rap album. Who you think should take it? Not who the Grammy's going to give it to, but who you think should get the rap album? Out of those ones.
I'll be honest, like I like the J. Cole thing, but I haven't really gone back to it much. And the Pete Rock, I don't believe the Pete Rock album deserves the Grammy. That's just me. I just don't feel it. The Dolce thing,
Exactly, Crew Royalty, exactly.
yeah.
And I love Janelle Monáe as an artist too. But yes, exactly.
Yes, Janelle Monáe, you're right. Yep, you're right about that.
So out of those nominations, you know what? I if it was up to me, I would give it to Doechii.
Yeah, I think she should get it, but I don't think they're gonna. Maybe
I
they'll
would give it to Doechii. Now, to me, those shouldn't be the nominations. There were better hip hop albums that came out this year.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna talk about that next week. And so we'll do our own list. We'll do our own nominations. You know what I'm saying? Of what albums we would have nominated and what performances. That's what we should do. That's how we should do it. Let's do the categories, the same categories that they do with the Grammys, the rap categories, and let's make our own list. And that'll be the broadcast that we do for next week.
Okay.
How about we do it that way?
Yeah, that's dope.
The B1 Grammys.
Yeah,
it's gonna be the B1 Grammy Awards.
That's fire.
But who else dropped? Who we forgetting about? Let me see. Who was another OG that dropped this year that we haven't talked about yet? Let me see.
That stood out.
I was talking about the DMX thing. I didn't get a chance to listen to that.
I like the Freddie Gibbs joint. But I
wouldn't put him in that category though as an OG.
He's not an OG.
He's older, but he's not a rap legend or nothing like that. He's from this era.
Yeah.
Ice Cube. What did you hear the Ice Cube album?
I didn't finish it, so I can't really speak on it. You?
I like Ice Cube album.
I gotta finish it.
I didn't keep going back to it yet. You know, it hasn't been out that long, and I've been listening to other stuff. Yeah. But just off the first listen, yeah, Ice Cube did his thing. Now, Ice Cube is not rhyming as good as we know Ice Cube to rhyme. Like just the rhymes are just okay.
Yeah.
But the songs are good enough. You know what I'm saying? The songs carry it over to where he's not rhyming like, you know, Ice Cube. Right. But the songs are dope. The production is dope. Yeah. You know, the concepts, he's talking about stuff, you know what I mean? He got substance with it, and it just jams. It's some good shit to ride to.
Yeah, it is.
Good shit to ride to. Ice Cube did his thing.
I like it a lot so far. I just gotta finish it. Yeah. But yeah, you're right. So far it's great.
Good album from Ice Cube.
Yeah.
You know, I felt, you know, he's not trying to do too much. Mm-hmm. You know, he's not trying to recapture, you know, he's not trying to do Death Certificate. You know what I'm saying?
See, that's what I'm talking about. He could have said, you know what, let me do a Death Certificate too. You know what I mean? And try to recapture like Redman. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But I like the fact that he kept it moving.
Yeah.
Kept it moving. Yeah, I work with that.
I think that was pretty much all of the joints from this year from the OG. Oh no. Did you get a chance to hear MC Lyte's album?
Oh yeah. You know what? I enjoyed her album.
Yo. A lot of people. This is a slept on one right here. Nobody talked about this.
But I enjoyed it. I still listen to joints off of that album.
It's a good album. MC Lyte did her thing.
Yeah,
MC Lyte's album is better than Common's album.
Yeah.
It's better than LL's album.
She has more
depth. Know what I'm saying? MC Lyte did her thing.
She got a lot of soul on there. Shout out to Easy Mo B. He produced like some of my favorite joints on there. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
and Warren Campbell is like
Campbell.
He's in the driver's seat. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was talking about with that producer that knows how to bring everything together. Warren Campbell, for people that don't know, that's the husband of one of the ladies from Mary Mary. He worked with Kanye a lot. You know, he did a lot of gospel joints over there, a lot of the Mary Mary joints, and you know, people like that. Warren Campbell's a brilliant musician, producer. You know what I'm saying? And so he was like the visionary, the overall producer behind this project, and it's great. It's great. Salute
that
to
King
MC Light
record. I love that. It's so many dope records. 101, you know, is the album title. The Woman record with Big Daddy Kane. She had some really good joints and stayed true to her formula. You know, really great record. Very strong record. And I don't know why I was on, but I enjoyed it.
What label is it on?
I don't even know. That's probably why. You know.
Let's see. All right, what label is this? He put this out on because it didn't get no traction. It didn't make no. I ain't hear nobody talking about this album.
No,
I just happened to see it on there, and I was like, "Oh, MC Light put out something. Let me see what this sound like." No expectations, not expecting anything, and I'm like, every song, I'm like, like yo, Light did her thing.
It gave you that feeling again. It was like, this feels really good.
Yeah, it's no major label involved with this. My Block Inc. No major label involved with this at all. So that there you go.
Yeah, dope.
There you go.
Like, you know, it was good hearing her back on the mic. She still got it. There was actually some other joints I heard that didn't make the album. It was like raw. Like she had some raw joints that didn't make the album, like she did when like my man Knots and a couple of underground raw producers. Like she was really spitting. Like I was like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? She still got it, you know. And it was really good hearing her again on the mic. And I'm looking forward to 2025 because we got some more OGs coming back. I know I'm hoping
Common and Pete Rock redeem themselves with the follow-up.
Part 2. I hope so too. Big Daddy Kane said he's dropping in 25. So
Big Daddy Kane, okay.
Yeah, yes, and
I don't got no high expectations for that, but let's see what he does. Let's see what he does. Let's see what he does.
We'll see what he does. You know, a couple of other OGs said they're coming back, so let's see.
The new Nas and Premier should be 2025.
Nas
and Premier, we should get that one.
Yeah.
If they don't sneak it out this week, they might sneak it out Friday.
Yeah, man. I'm just pleased, Premier. I'm just praying that he goes back in. Don't make us have this Common Pete Rock conversation, man. Like
Nas ain't gonna let that happen.
Come on.
Even if you're not happy with the production, Nas gonna deliver. I ain't worried about Nas. Nas gonna do his thing.
Cause I'm like, Premier was begging Nas for years, like, come on, we gotta do this album, man. Come on. It's like, bro, I hope you have some joints in the stash, bro. Like, you gotta have some real heat. So like, you gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna be honest. Like, if I kept asking Nas for the past 10, 11 years, like, bro, I need this album. Then they did that double XL cover. Then remember when they announced long time ago. So you've been flirting with this with the public with this album. No, we didn't listen to Fat Joe. Sorry.
Hell no, we ain't listening to Fat Joe's album. Fat Joe dropped the album?
Fat Joe gets no play over here. I'm gonna tell you right now.
No play whatsoever. Oh. And I did hear the single he got out there. That shit trash.
It's garbage.
That shit super trash.
Fat
Joe is persona non grata out here, man. That dude
play over here. So wrong show.
That dude is done.
Yeah, he's cooked. That Lord Jamar joint is fire. I rocks with that. So I ain't
the elephant in the room.
Yeah, I rocks with Lord Jamar.
I gotta hear. I just heard it when he played it at the beginning of his show. I ain't really hear it.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, whatever. You know, that's how I felt. That's how I felt about it, to be honest. Shout out to Lord Jamar. You know what I mean?
We need a brand Nubian joint though.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I'm praying that they get back together for, bring something back, That'll be nice to hear them, come back and drop some knowledge.
Rakim did a project 2024.
Yeah, but it's not. I mean, It was more like a compilation. Like he said, he's putting out like an album next year. Like
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
can't really like give my opinion. Like the first joint I love, but it was more like him and Corrupt and Crooked Eye, and I love what he did on it. I love the production, but it wasn't really a Rakim solo album, you know.
It definitely wasn't. It wasn't. He said he wanted to showcase his skills as a producer and as a DJ. So he did all the tracks, he did all the scratches on the beat, and he worked with some of the MCs that he likes that are out there. You know what I'm saying? And I thought it was a good project. I thought it was a good project.
Yeah.
I'm glad he did something like that, because a lot of us, you know, who are big Rakim fans, we weren't even really aware of his production like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he did a lot of those beats back in the days.
Now I'm gonna ask you this question then. I mean, and I think I said this to you behind the scenes. Now that we found out that he did a lot of those beats and those productions, are we gonna put him on the top producers list? Because
no,
a lot of those albums are iconic. They're classics, man. Like you can't.
You're right.
So now you wrote that lyrically and you produced it. Like that puts you on a whole nother level.
I don't think it puts him as a top producer though. I can respect it. I can respect it and say, oh damn, you know, Rakim, you know, I didn't know he made these beats and all that shit. But you know, are you Marley Marl? I can't say you Marley Marl. I can't say, you know what I'm saying, you Large Professor. I can't put you up there like that.
I mean, but those are classic albums. I mean, somebody who could write that and then produce it like that's a lot to be.
So would you consider J. Cole to be one of the top producers?
Yes. I think J. Cole is one of the top producers in the game.
J. Cole produces most of his stuff.
He does, and the fact he's produced for Kendrick, he's produced for a lot of other people.
Yeah.
So he, to me, yes, he's one of them ones.
Top what? Like top 50? What? Like top 10? What are you talking about? Top what?
A top 10, but he's definitely a great producer. Like he's produced some great records. Like
I can't take nothing away from him. I like his production. I can't say he's a top producer though.
I say he is. I think the more he works with other people, the more he's gonna get that credit.
That will tell us would tell us more. Yeah, that would tell us more. I feel the same way about Havoc, right? Like Havoc, I feel like Havoc should have worked with a lot more artists outside the camp to really showcase what he does, because the shit he did on Life After Death,
he's top 10 to me. I'm giving Havoc top 10.
So let me ask you this. Overall, as a producer, Havoc or Alchemist?
There would be no Alchemist without Havoc.
True. I ain't asked you that.
I'm going with Havoc.
Yeah. What happened? Your camera, where'd you go? Where'd you go? I don't know, fam. I might have to go with Alchemist just because, again, his body of work. You know what I'm saying? He's worked with a lot of different artists out there and produced some timeless joints for a lot of people, you know. And Havoc too, I don't know. That's a close one. That's a close one. But I don't know. I'm kind of leaning toward Alchemist because in this era, he's still doing his thing with the Griseldas and a lot of the underground, the Rock Marcies, and you know, he's still putting out quality timeless joints right now. You know what I'm saying? And I don't see that type of output from Havoc. But they're both supposed to be producing a new Mobb Deep album, so that should be coming out in 2025 also.
What happened? What happened?
You there? I hear you. I see you. I hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. I lost you.
Yeah, you was going for a minute, but you back.
Yeah,
but having an Alchemist producing the new Mobb Deep album, we should get that in 2025.
Right, that's gonna be dope because they have unreleased Prodigy verses and stuff like that. I'm saying, like, you know, Alchemist basically said, you know, he fed off the blueprint, the sound, and he started with Cypress Hill, and DJ Muggs was his mentor, but he fed off of Havoc, the sound of Mobb Deep, and he was able to come in and be mentored and learn the formula, and then he just basically ran from there. But his foundation is the formula of the Mobb Deep sound, and that's Havoc. So I'm giving it to Havoc. Havoc is top 10 to me, and he's always.
Crew Royalty asks a good question. You know, since you're saying that about Rakim and J. Cole, how do you feel about Eminem as a producer?
I think Eminem is dope as well. I think like some of the stuff that he's been able to do, for like 50 and like patiently waiting in certain records, like he made some iconic beats. You know what I mean? The 8 Mile joint. He's made iconic beats, but I just think that he limited himself, like in terms of working with a lot of people outside of his camp. He didn't really expand to show us that, you know, he can make hit after hit after hit on different projects with other artists. He kind of kept it more in the shady camp. You know what I mean? He worked with.
He did Renegade, right?
He did Renegade. Yep, he did Renegade.
He did Renegade. He produced Carry the Cross for Nas.
Yes, that was dope. Yeah, you know what I mean. He did yeah. Dope joints.
The one he did for Pac on the Resurrection soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was Pac and Biggie. That shit was hard.
That was hard. Yep. He showed that he could. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he just like he didn't really go all the way. Like, I'm gonna keep working with other artists outside my camp. You know, he would do a joint here and there.
Or find a new artist and produce that artist. Like he signed that kid who I like a lot, Westside Boogie.
Right.
He's nice.
His first crazy.
Yeah, you know I mean? Yeah, he's nice. But I would like to see Eminem, like, you know, produce a project for somebody like that. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And see how that goes.
Yeah, a whole body of work. Not like a song. Yeah. He's definitely a dope producer. He just don't want to work with nobody. Kind of like RZA. Like RZA was just like, he wanted to keep the production in house. I'm only producing for my camp. I'll do a couple of things outside here and there, but I'm not really messing with y'all. I'm gonna keep.
Yeah, but the advantage that RZA had was he got 9 MCs to work with. You know, 10 really MCs. So he was able to really, because look what happened when him and Premier did the verses.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he
didn't really ate Premier.
Work. He couldn't really go no further outside.
Yeah, and he ate Premier though.
It hurt him though, but
he wants Premier. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he did, but I think if he had more singles, like I think RZA could have really hurt him even worse. But I mean, his beats are so iconic. You know what I mean? It was like Premier couldn't go against it. It was hard. It was hard. You know, and then he was able to make all of those classic albums. You know, it's hard.
What you talking about, Douglas? What you talking about? Black and Brown? What Black and Brown shit? What you talking about?
What are you talking about?
I don't know. Maybe it's just trolling or something. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, man, those was, you know, the good, the bad, and the ugly from the OGs that dropped in 2024. You know, like I said, some of them home runs, a couple of joints was cool. Some of them was they could have kept them shits.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact.
You know what I mean? LL, you could have kept that, my nigga. Sorry. Yeah. And I know a lot of y'all love Common album with Pete Rock, but for me, they could have kept that shit.
That was subpar.
They could have kept that.
I don't know what, but
who else missed the mark? Redman, I don't know, Redman. Did you need 33 songs? Maybe you could have narrowed it down to a good 12, 13 and made it something.
He should have kept it no more than 15. Like you said, around there. Not 30.
Yeah. Oh, Fat Joe shit? I don't know. We wasn't talking about Fat Joe today.
Look, we're not listening to Fat Joe. Fat Joe gets no play. So
yeah.
It's not happening. And what he put out was trash anyway. I heard some of the records. It was like,
I mean, do Fat Joe got a dope album? Does Fat Joe have one dope album?
Outside of Big Pun's pen with the Don Cartagena, I mean, that's it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, as a whole body of work, you know what I'm saying? Big Pun wrote that Don Cartagena project, you know.
I ain't never listened to that shit.
I mean, we had John Blaze on there.
Shout out to Pun.
That was Big Pun's pen. You know, let's be real.
Yeah, I never listened to Don Cartagena like that. Mm-hmm. I never listened to no. I never in my life say, "Yo, throw on that Fat Joe." That never happened. I beg your pardon.
All right. I'll give him the Shit Is Real remix that Premier did for him. That was an underground favorite.
He got a couple of songs. You know what I'm saying? I Shot You. You know what I'm saying? All the songs that I like is he definitely got features. You know what I'm saying? It's not just Fat Joe by himself. It's I like What's Love, you know, with Ja Rule in them. I like that song. You know, I like Lean Back.
Right. A whole Fat Joe album.
Him and Pun did the 187 shit.
Right.
You know, that was dope.
Right. So nobody's popping in a whole Fat Joe album right now. It's not happening.
Yeah. Fat Joe.
Not happening.
Right. Right.
Not happening.
I'm trying to think. Do Fat Joe got one song by himself with no features that I like or that anybody likes? I don't think he got one. He's been around for 30 years. I don't think he got not even one.
What's the Fat Joe song that has the replay value, the most replay value? That's also a good question.
I don't got Fat Joe on none of my playlists, sir. There's no Fat Joe songs in rotation. It's certain songs that if it comes on, it's cool, but that's about it. You know, if it comes on the radio or at the club or something, Lean Back comes on, it's a cool record, but never throwing on Fat Joe intentionally.
Lean Back in the club, but I mean, like
as a DJ, you got to play that.
Right, but as far as like in my car, in my house, like you said, there's no Fat Joe on any playlist.
So Douglas, are you a Fat Joe fan? Douglas, are you a fan of Fat Joe like that? What's your favorite Fat Joe joints, Douglas? Sound like you in here, you know, caping for Fat Joe. Are you a Puerto Rican gentleman? Just ask it. Are you a Puerto Rican gentleman?
Sound like a Fat Joe fan.
But we about to get out of here, man. So like I said, next week, we'll try to do that. Put together our own nominations, you know what I'm saying, for what we would have chose if we was in charge of the Grammys. You know what I'm saying? We'll do our own categories and nominations and, you know, break the broadcast down like that. Talk about some of our favorite joints from 2024. And we won't be limited because, you know, albums that came out after a certain time are not eligible for the Grammy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was some good albums that came out in the fourth quarter this year. They just not eligible for the Grammy now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's true.
So yeah, we'll talk about that next week. So y'all make sure y'all tune in for that. And me and Nicey will be back this Sunday, of course. Chop it up with y'all. Y'all check out Brother Rich's broadcast from last night when he was talking about, speaking of Fat Joe, he did a broadcast last night talking about the whole Fat Joe situation. And I got on there a little bit towards the end of the broadcast. So y'all go check that out and hear what I had to say about the whole the Fat Joe situation and Foundational Black Americans and all of that stuff on that. Also, you can catch the replay from me and Nicey from last Sunday. You know, we did a whole breakdown on the whole Fat Joe thing too. So that's right here on this channel. That one went crazy. I think that might be one of our most viewed videos right there. You know what I'm saying? So y'all go check out the replay to that if you ain't get a chance to check it out.
Yes, sir.
I feel like I should bring Douglas on real quick before we get out of here. Douglas, you want to hop on here real quick
Yeah, he talking
I
jealous
want to
ones.
get your I want to get his thoughts. Let me see if I could get you to hop on here real quick before we go, man, because it seems like
Come on
it seems like you want our attention, so we give you some attention before we get out of here.
Jealous ones.
Click the link. I just dropped the link in the chat. Douglas Alvarenga. Click the link in the chat, and let me let you come on and give your input before we get out of here. Let's do that before we get out of here, man.
Raekwon. You talk about Raekwon. What about Raekwon? What about Raekwon?
They go to link. I'm just showing y'all. They go to link. The link is in the chat. Douglas, I'll give you a couple of minutes.
Come on in, Doug.
Give you a couple of minutes to click that link and hop in here. So we, you got a lot to say in the chat. So let's hear from you.
We talk about
let's
Raekwon.
hear from you. I'm very interested to hear from the Fat Joe fans. What y'all got to say?
Raekwon. What about Raekwon? We're not discussing Raekwon.
Raekwon didn't drop this year.
Yeah,
we talking about the OGs that dropped in 2024. That's what today's broadcast was about. Fat Joe dropped and nobody heard a sound.
Yeah,
Fat Joe dropped and nobody heard a sound. What's the name of his album? Crickets.
Yeah.
Okay, this dude is just trolling. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. This dude ain't talking about nothing. So again, man, I appreciate y'all tuning in with us, man. Happy holidays to everybody. Hope everybody stays safe. Enjoy the family. Eat some good food and all of that. Yep. I'm just chilling, man. You know what I mean? I'm just chilling. My family is all gone. Everybody's traveling. They out of town right now. I stayed home. I'm getting everything reset around here, reset the energy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm cleaning, doing real deep cleaning around the house and stuff like that. And just getting ready for the 2025 to come in. New energy. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Just out to the family.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And so once again, man, appreciate y'all tuning in. We'll see y'all in a couple of days. Me and Nicety Girl will be back with y'all. And so always remember, family, we are not the master teachers, but we are the master students and signal boosters for the voices of the new Black media. Peace.
Peace.
Black love.
Yeah, like that. Let's see what's in the God's mind. Listen.